I'm Donna Renee with Green Star Marketing. So excited to be here at the inaugural Viirtue Connect. This man that I'm with right now, he needs no introduction, but we'll go ahead and introduce him anyway. Hernaez, CEO of Teammate Technology, right?
Yes, done.
Okay, so I'm gonna just dive right in with a question that I know is on everybody's mind. Does it feel weird to be here?
Definitely weird, but in a good way.
In a very good way.
Yes. I mean, Dan and I are friends, and I'm happy to see him succeeding. And it's nice to be here and take part in this, especially so close to home. I only live about a mile away from this hotel. So
Isn't that awesome?
it's great. It's really great.
I love it. Now, I'm sure that you were in the keynote this morning.
Yes.
And you heard everything that he was unrolling. What does that make you feel like? I mean, and I think you're a big part of that.
Yeah, first, Teammate hopes to play a big role in the marketplace, and we, first of all, I think the vision that Dan has and his strategy is great. He's meeting a need that MSPs have, and there's really no good solution for that right now. So, wish him the best of luck, and I'm going to be right there with him.
Absolutely. How did you learn of this opportunity? Did you approach Dan, or did Dan approach you? How did you get to connect, Viirtue Connect?
Because Viirtue is based in St. Petersburg, and I'm right here. We talk pretty frequently. So
okay.
I've been kept apprised of the plans, along the way. So, when he asked if I was interested, of course the answer was yes.
Yeah, it was a no-brainer.
Right.
Absolutely, very good. So I imagine that you know quite a few of the people that are here today.
Certainly, all the vendors, are the same vendors that I've worked with in the past, and many of the resellers here who are Viirtue resellers. I've also worked with in the past.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And do you see that as how are you going to be able to leverage those relationships to help Teammate?
Hopefully hopefully I have a little bit of a reputation for being able to
Huge.
Well, I don't know about that, but working with any new vendor is a challenge, right? And getting to feel comfortable with the company and feeling secure, especially with a startup like Teammate or a newer company. So I'm hoping that I can leverage some of my relationships to make people feel a little bit more at ease about doing business with us. Absolutely.
I've heard nothing but good things. People are abuzz. They're excited to see you here. It means something to them. You do have solid relationships out there.
Well, thanks. That's awesome.
Well, you're
awesome
very welcome. So we know that you love Viirtue. We've heard about that. Tell me a little bit about Teammate and where you're playing in the whole thing with Microsoft Teams.
Sure. So Microsoft is a juggernaut in the UCaaS arena now. Their latest reported numbers say they have 300 million monthly active users who use Teams, and of those 300 million monthly active users, 12 to 15 million are actually using Microsoft as their phone system. So that's a huge number. I mean, compared to the largest UCaaS providers, they're up there. I also saw that they also recently placed in the first spot in the Gartner Magic Quadrant. So they're making a name for themselves. How that relates is, if you're selling phone service, you're going to have to answer the question, well, what about Microsoft Teams? How do you compare to Microsoft Teams? And Teammate answers that question. So with Teammate, you can actually, whatever SIP call control you're using, so in this case, Viirtue's UCaaS service, you can use Teammate as a registered soft phone on Viirtue's UCaaS service. And it's really unique. There's actually only two companies that do what Teammate does. And the other company is in Europe, and they don't play in the United States that often. So it's a unique service that we provide. But what we're able to do is we're able to extend all of the features from the UCaaS provider through Teams to the user using Teams, basically turning Teams into like this super soft phone. And so it's exciting.
It's very exciting, and I have to say I see you on LinkedIn all the time, and somebody called you Entrepreneur of the Year.
I don't know about that.
Well,
yeah.
I think somebody would said even of the decade. So I want to ask you, how did you get the idea? Because Teammate is your baby. You actually started it, right? Mm-hmm. You're the founder.
Co-founder. Yeah.
Okay. How did you get the idea? What sparked it?
What sparked it was that in 2018, Microsoft announced that they were going to open up direct routing, which means that you can, from an outside system, connect the call to Microsoft Teams. And, me and Micah Singer, who was the co-founder, were like, oh, that's pretty cool. We could maybe use that. And so we started it kind of just building a proof of concept. And Micah really drove everything. I was an investor and advisor. But what we didn't expect and what really happened was the pandemic, right? So this was, a year at least before the pandemic. And Microsoft has been trying to get into the phone business for many years. They've had many different iterations of products, and for the most part, none of them have really taken hold. So we didn't know if this was just going to be another iteration or another version of something that didn't take hold. But with the pandemic and everybody, having to do web conferences, and Teams just kind of exploded, and we've been the beneficiary of that.
In the right place at the right time?
Just dumb luck.
Well, I don't know.
There's a lot of luck.
Some people would say skill, but I get it. I get it. Some would say that you're somewhat, I know there's this bug in here that needs to go away, that you're somewhat of a savant in this space. And I've experienced that myself. You seem to know what's coming before it comes. How do you do that?
I refer to myself as an idiot savant. But
is there going to be a yellow book for that? Savantism for idiots or
no,
for dummies?
No. I mean, I don't know. I've been, I started out as a lawyer, but somehow this is way back in the early 90s when you were first able to make a phone call over the internet. Somehow I just kind of was like amazed by it. I was like, wow, that is so freaking cool. And found my way, directing my career. I went from being a lawyer to working as the in-house lawyer for an internet service provider, and then I got them to start routing calls over the internet, as part of their service. And it's just gone from there. I don't know,
Do you read like all the trendy publications? I mean, or you just know, you just intuitively see it?
I mean, I read the same stuff, I don't. Well, I read a lot. I'm constantly reading, but I don't know. I don't have an answer for that.
Okay, that's okay. I just thought I would ask.
Yeah.
So
I don't read business books. I don't read anything, on that.
Okay. Well, but some people just whatever they touch turns to gold. Wish I said that to you before, and you said, well, there's some like Babe Ruth, right? Number one in home runs, but isn't he number one in strikeouts too?
Right. It's not all gold.
Abraham Lincoln, to be a success, you've got to go to the ball. You've got to bat. Right?
You've got to be willing to take a risk, for sure.
Exactly.
Yes.
And you have been. So we don't know all the audience who's going to be watching this. What do you want to tell a prospective teammate client about why they would want to engage with you?
Well, first off, if you're in the business voice business, if you're a UCaaS provider, you need a strategy for dealing with Teams. Teams isn't going away. They're growing by leaps and bounds. They're constantly iterating their product. It's getting better. And so you need to have at least a mental framework for how you're going to compete against them. And Teammate can help provide that framework for you. So by all means, please reach out. And actually, we're just getting ready to publish a white paper on that specific topic. So it's not quite out there yet, but it will be soon. And
awesome.
I urge anyone who's interested to download it.
Awesome. And then how can they reach you?
Teammatetechnology.com is our website, and I'm on LinkedIn.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Eric, thank you. It was so nice to meet you. We'll meet you. See you again.
See you again. We've met once or twice before.
We have. Yes. Anyway, thank you for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you.